Kita sekarang lagi di ini di uang uang receh museum. Kita dapat ini, jadi informasi bisa dengerin di sini. Kita bisa nomor satu, nomor dua itu semua ada informasinya. Kayak misalnya ini nomor 4, kita tik nomor 4 ya. Di sini nomornya. Dan ini alat waktu dulu dia bikin bikin uang koin ya dulu ini. Dan ini uang Olimpis dulu, Olimpis di Innsbruck, Winter Olympic tuh. Tapi sekarang bikin koin nggak pakai mesin ini lagi karena apa, mesin zaman dulu ya. Sekarang sekarang beda, per satu hari bisa 600 koin produksi tuh, 600 koin produksi per satu hari. Jadi ini cara kerja bikin koin mesin ini. Mesin itu yang buat ngepesnya, alat-alatnya buat mesin ini. Dan ini koin zaman dulu, zaman 17. Nah ini Kaiser Maria Theresa, dia bangsawan, dia ada koin, bikin koin. Dia anak dari Emperor Kaisar France. Jadi ini mesin ini dulu, zaman dulu pakai mesin ini. Kalau jadi dia apa, tenaganya pakai gula dulu, zaman dulu banget. kecil gitu. Kayak kincir gitu dulu zaman bikinnya. Ini zaman dulu uang Kaisar Taro tahun 1685. Jadi ini zaman dulu duit pakai ini Kaisar Emperor Raja dulu zaman dulu. Leopold juga. Ini semua koin waktu koin zaman dulu ya, zaman dulu. Sekarang udah beda lagi koinnya. Jadi zaman dulu itu mereka pakai mata uangnya ini. Bagus-bagus sih kalau dilihat. Ini Ferdinand II dia. Oh kita kemarin ke Sklos Ambras. Jadi ini original ininya ada di Sklos Ambras. Kemarin kita lihat.
Insgesamt noch hilfvoll aussehen ließ. Münzmeister und Herrschrift. Unter anderem das des Münzmeisters des Grafen Schick. Der Graf, der Besitzer des Silberberges im München, Joachims aber, hat für sich erkannt, welches Potenzial in den Ideen des Unines verloren war. Hatte durch sein Silberminen im schwarzen Silberberg eines der reichsten Silbervorkommen. Solche Bergkette und begann mit der Prägung einer Musikmünze. Dieser böhmische Bediener wurde schließlich als Joachimsgraf bekannt. Er wurde sofort anerkannt und mit langem Sprachgebrauch der Bevölkerung wurde der Name zu Paul verkürzt. Es verging nicht viel Zeit und die Idee des Bedieners, nunmehr tatsächlich als Paul bezeichnet, griff auf nahezu ganz neue Bedeutung. Der Höhepunkt war schließlich, dass das Vertrauen in diese Großsilbermünze so groß war. Auch Banken rechneten nun Insignie des Bedieners alle vier ihre Hände kriegen, mit der eigenen Entwicklung Münzen.
Sekarang mau ini nomor 16.
Needed to pay for imported goods. In other words, the gold rulers quickly left Europe, and gold reserves had to be replenished here. This was an extremely laborious and costly undertaking. It was for this reason that clever minds started to ponder possible alternatives. And this was particularly the case in the small but progressive land, the Duchy of the Tyrol. mint experts, financial advisors to Sigismund, the Archduke Sigismund himself, and other individuals whose names you probably will never know, started to develop a new and pioneering idea. Instead of gold, use silver. And so they developed a strategy, not only not to be dependent on the gold good, but also to be able to offer something of equal worth. It was a simple yet ingenious idea. Mint a large silver coin with such a high precious metal content that it has the same value as that of a gold gulden. The gulden was born. The situation was perfect for the Tyrol. Europe's most important silver mine at the time was located in Schwarz. The mint had just been moved to Halle, and it had innovative monetary and financial experts to consistently implement the project. The inventors of the gulden probably had no idea of the consequences, but the innovation was ultimately adopted throughout Europe and even spread to the four corners of the earth. No longer did people need gold to make money. It was a particularly clever move to call the new Tyrolean coin Guldener, because it clearly sounded like a golden gulden, and therefore inspired confidence. The physical size of the coin had an additional benefit in that it provided plenty of space so the best coin engravers who resided in Halle at the time could give full rein to their creativity. This appealed in particular to rulers like the Emperor Maximilian I, whose artistically rendered likeness featured on the coins. And not only boosted his image, but also made the coin look even more valuable. And so, it didn't take long for the gulden to attract the interest of various moneyers and rulers. Among them, the money of Count Schlick. The Count, who was the owner of a silver mine in the Jurkenstall Valley in Bohemia, recognized the potential held out by the concept of the gulden. Along with the silver mine in Schwarz, his was one of the largest silver mines in Europe. He swiftly took action and started to mint a large silver coin. This Bohemian gulden ultimately became known as the Jurkenstall. It gained immediate acceptance, and in general speech, people simply began to call it Thaler for short. It didn't take long for the concept of the gulden, which was actually called Thaler, to spread to the whole of Europe. The gulden reached its peak when the trust placed in the large silver coin was so great that it completely replaced the gold coin in everyday use. Even banks started to use silver money for their transactions, and this was when the concept of the gulden became the basis of an international system of money. The number of thalers minted up until the 19th century was so great, and its distribution so widespread, that the currency was not only adopted in the Habsburg Empire, but had also become a popular unit of money abroad. Expansion into America, known as the New World at the time, was launched from Spain, and the mint in Halle was involved together with its invention of roller press technology. Experts from Halle built a complete roller press and put it into operation in Segovia, Spain. Now that coins could be made by machine, there was no stopping their circulation. The minted coins, based on the concept of the gulden and called Thaler in Spanish, were called dólares. The Spanish introduced these coins to major parts of South America, where they were greatly valued by the people. At the end of the 18th century, when the United States gained independence, the Americans still placed trust in the large silver coin. It was Thomas Jefferson who said something along these lines. Everyone knows the coin. It is simple and convenient to use. The single American currency was called the dollar. The dollar coin became the most important foreign trade currency for Asia, for example, for China and Japan. These countries also embraced the concept of a silver coin with real value and minted their own versions. In China, it was the yuan renminbi, which is still used today. In Japan, it was the first round coin, the yen. These coins produced others, such as the Taiwan dollar. You could say that the whole world had its own version of the gulden. The large silver coin from the Tyrol was and still is an extremely important invention, and this is reflected in the fact that, for example, the Maria Teresa Thaler alone was minted some 300 million times up until the year 2000. All these large silver coins of Thaler, dollar, or other versions around the world had one thing in common. From the first golden minted in Hull to those minted in the early 20th century, their precious metal content and their weight guaranteed that there would be trust in their real value. Today, it is national governments alone that have a monopoly on money and the system of money. They guarantee the value of money, although the physical value of today's coins is much less than a constant in face value. However, it's safe to assume that monetary experts must have looked back to the past when they introduced the euro. That people trusted in the gulden, thaler, and other offshoots was no coincidence. That's why today's euro is gold and silver coloured. And it's safe that it will be. In bygone days, rulers had their likenesses rendered on silver coins for circulation in their sovereign territories. Today, EU member states have their own designs on the reverse side of the coin. The gulden was truly pioneering. It represented a consistent and reliable unit in the confusing disorder of the pre-modern system of money. Indeed, the golden is not only the forebear of the dollar and the thaler, but also the grandfather of the euro. Unity in diversity is the European money's motto. Every one of you has a unit of this diversity in your pockets. Every euro coin has a European and a national side to it. The philosophy has remained the same through the ages. Coins reflect the world in which we use them.
Sekarang kita udahan di museum koinnya. Kita mau jalan lagi, mau lihat di tempat lain. Kita masih di Tirol. Udah dulu ya. Assalamualaikum.
Elas me ensinam a ver se Ja, aber es geht. Ja, ja. Vorsicht. Schön.
Vielen Dank. Kita bikin koin.
Buat bikin stiker.
Nah, what is it? Nah, ini bikin koin. Kalau kita mau bikin koin bayar 3 euro. Kita bikin sendiri, dibantuin sama itu. Jadi ini mesinnya. Mesin ini bikin koin dulu, zaman dulu. Nih koinnya. Nah, sekarang agak jelas ya. Oleh-oleh souvenir. Udah dulu. Assalamualaikum. Jadi tadi kita ke dalam sini ke museum uang, museum koin, dimana dulu bikin koin di sini dulu, zaman dulu. Ini sekarang di sini udah museum. Itu namanya Muntenhal, koin hall. Sekarang kita mau jalan lewat sini, kita lihat apa yang bisa ditemuin. Sekarang udah dulu dari museum koin. Ini tempatnya nggak kelihatan kalau dia museum ya. Mesti pinter nyari, kita juga mesti nyari-nyari. Udah dulu ya, assalamualaikum.